Hi folks, Alex Klingelhoeffer here with Exencial Wealth Advisors. It's OKC CFA, CFP on Twitter. And I wanted to answer a question that I got this week from a client. What are supply chain shortages and what impacts do those shortages have on the global economy? Well, supply chain shortages are really just an instance of a material becoming in short supply somewhere along the chain of production to consumption. So, of course, let's take something fairly straightforward like a car. Right now we're seeing tons of supply shortages of cars. Well, what is specifically short in terms of cars where they can't be put out onto the road? Right now, the thing that is in really short supply is a specific type of chip. It's called a display driver. The reason why display drivers are in a shortage is because all the car manufacturers stopped ordering them because of COVID. All of the appliance manufacturers picked up that supply, put them in their appliances, and suddenly there aren't enough chips to go around. Might ask the question, why don't factories just get built to build display drivers? They're old chips, they're not very profitable long term. Because there's not a long-term profit motive, the short-term shortage continues, and lots of cars are sitting all over the world ready to be completed because they're missing this one critical component. That can happen across a myriad of industries anytime you have a disruption. When you have one part of the chain broken, the other parts do not function. Everything before that part ends up stockpiling and their prices go down. Everything after that, the prices go up, right? It's simple supply and demand. You have additional supplies, so the prices go down. You have the same demand but less supplies after that point in the supply chain, so prices go up. So that's how supply chain dynamics work. Of course, we're seeing tremendous volume increases in products being shipped from overseas, from China. Now we're seeing ports shut down in China because of COVID outbreaks, because of ships not being able to bring goods from China. That's a link in the supply chain, transportation, right? It's the sort of the sinew that binds all of these muscles of the economy together. When you have a supply chain shortage in transportation, you run into a real problem as everything falls into shorter supply. Again, these are not necessarily the sexiest topics to talk about, but they are important. If you have a global supply chain disruption, especially if you're looking at transport, you are going to hamper global growth as goods cannot just get to the places they need to be in the time they need to be at. So as companies can't get the products they need upstream, i.e. they're being squeezed by their suppliers, they also can't deliver the products they need downstream, right? If I don't have the flour to make my bread, I can't sell bread to customers, and the flour itself goes up in price. As in a free market, all materials are really up for bid. So ultimately this creates a dynamic where processors of goods, intermediaries in the chain, can't make the profits that they're expecting. Their profits decline, perhaps their stocks fall, and that can affect the market. So that's what supply chain disruptions are. If you want some additional information on logistics, other nerdy stuff like that, feel free to follow me on Twitter. As always, it's OKC CFA CFP. Until then, I'm out.